occupied lands. His Excellency the British Defense Secretary stresses on the keenness of his country to continue the military cooperation with the Sultanate to serve the interests of both countries. And a World Health Organization WHO panel meets in Geneva to discuss the latest developments on the Wuhan coronavirus, which has killed 170 people.
أقسم بالله العظيم أن أحترم النظام الأساسي للدولة والقوانين، وأن أرعى مصالح المواطنين وحرياتهم رعاية كاملة، وأن أحافظ على استقلال الوطن وسلامة أراضيه.
His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, received today a written message from His Excellency Ben Wallace, British Secretary of State for Defense, in which he expressed his condolences and those of the personnel of the British Ministry of Defense on the death of late His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed bin Taimur. May Allah rest his soul in peace. The message expressed the appreciation of the United Kingdom extended to late His Majesty Sultan Qaboos as a leader who was highly respected among all nations in the world due to his outstanding role and contribution in establishing peace and adopting dialogue and understanding to solve all issues in the region. His Excellency British Secretary of State for Defense stressed that late His Majesty Sultan Qaboos was a highly regarded friend to the United Kingdom, and his memory will be immortal in the history of both countries. His Excellency pointed out in his message the keenness of his country to continue the military cooperation with the Sultanate to serve the interests of both countries under the wise leadership of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, received His Excellency David Schenker, United States Assistant Secretary of Near Eastern Affairs and North Africa. During the meeting, they discussed ways to enhance the bilateral relations between the Sultanate and the U.S. They also reviewed matters of common concern as well as regional and international issues.
فيا أبناء عمان الطاهرة في كل مكان، يا جنودها البواسل في كل ميدان، استعدوا بارك الله فيكم لمواصلة المسيرة بكل عزم وإصرار وقوة ومضاء، فعمان بحاجة إلى المزيد من البذل والعطاء والتضحية والفداء والعمل الجاد المثمر البناء.
Heritage, according to His Majesty the late Sultan Qaboos, is not confined in what ancestors have produced and brought to civilization. It's to adopt that and carry on to be innovative. Since 1970, His Majesty the late Sultan focused on preserving elements of Omani heritage by establishing the Ministry of Heritage and Culture that embarked on safeguarding the Omani identity and history over the course of the blessed Renaissance. His Majesty the late Sultan's vision was to integrate the Omani heritage into the development of modern Oman and promote the Omani identity among the people of Oman. Besides restoring castles and forts and prompting the Omani identity, His Majesty the late Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed stressed in one of his speeches on the importance of focusing on empowering the Omanis to be innovative without forgetting their proud roots. This royal directive has become a guiding principle for Omanis who have stood proud with their heritage and continued their path to build the country. In last November, the Sultanate of Oman launched the Sultan Qaboos Declaration Project on United Human Values in Jakarta. In continuation of His Majesty the Sultan Qaboos' vision for promoting peace and tolerance around the world. The declaration coincided with the International Tolerance Day to reinforce and complement global initiatives and undertaking to restore peace and stability around the world by highlighting shared human values. The project will focus on three parts: enhancing the lives of human beings, reaching to a universal human value system, and protecting the spiritual values of human beings. The project will work on promoting values of peace and understanding, respecting the sanctity of life, and reassuring people and communities that their values and cultures will be respected. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos' Declaration Project on United Human Values was the gift to the nations and people of the world from His Majesty the late Sultan Qaboos bin Said, who hopes that such many initiatives will make a world where nations and people coexist and respect each other. Still to come on News Bulletin. Oman Chief Executive Officers Forum concluded its three-day session at the Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Airstrikes killed 10 civilians near a bakery and a medical clinic in Syria's rebel-held Idlib region today, as government forces kept up a ground offensive. The strike hit the Idlib province town of Ariha. The government has upped their deadly bombardment of Syria's last major rebel bastion, slowly chipping away at it from the south. Rebel-held territory has shrunk to just over half of Idlib province, along with silvers of neighboring Aleppo and Lariqiya, following a series of government gains. 3 buildings had collapsed and several vehicles were reduced to mangled wrecks. Government forces pushed north from Martin Noman today towards the town of Sardib, which residents have mostly fled in the face of the attacks. A World Health Organization (WHO) panel met in Geneva today to discuss the latest developments regarding the Wuhan coronavirus, which has killed 170 people and spread from China to at least 16 other countries. The panel's 16 independent experts will decide whether the spread of the virus constitutes an international emergency, something they said was premature when they last met on January 23rd. Although the final decision on the move depends on WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom. A WHO declaration of an international public health emergency is rare, with only 5 have ongoing effect in the past decade. These include the 2009 H1N1 virus, West Africa's Ebola outbreak, polio in 2014, the Zika virus in 2016, and the ongoing Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Meanwhile, the nurses at the Wuhan hospital cut off their hair to reduce the chances of infection in the battle against coronavirus. Chinese medical staff are doing everything possible to stop the spread of the virus, which has sickened more than 7,700 people. Australia was bracing for a heat wave to sweep across the country's fire-ravaged southeast in the coming days, with the forecast stoking fears the soaring temperatures could inflame bushfires. Temperatures reached above 40 degrees Celsius today in South Australia state, where dangerous fire weather warnings were issued in several bushfire-prone areas. The heat wave is then expected to hit Melbourne and Canberra tomorrow before parts of Sydney reach 45 degrees Celsius on the weekend. Authorities say that searing heat accompanied by dry winds would bring severe bushfire conditions to parts of New South Wales and Victoria, where more than 80 fires are still burning across the two states. The renewed fire threat came as worst-hit New South Wales announced an inquiry into the catastrophic bushfire season, which has left at least 32 people dead and devastated vast swathes of the country since September.
ولولا ثبات ورسوخ الأمن وانتشار الأمان في ربوع هذه البلاد الذي ما كان ليتحقق إلا بوجود قوات مسلحة جاهزة وعصرية ومعدة إعدادا عاليا بكل فروعها وقطاعاتها، ونحن نقدر دورها العظيم في ضمان منجزات ومكتسبات البلاد، ونؤكد على دعمنا لها واعتزازنا بدورها.
Reviewing issues related to the logistic land transport sector in the Governorate of North Batna and a number of issues related to planning in the wilayas of Shinas and Liwa topped the discussions of the Municipal Council of the Governorate. Among topics discussed also were a number of recommendations forwarded from the concerned committees and took appropriate decisions with their regard. The Municipal Council, during its meeting in the Governorate of North Batna, discussed a number of topics related to land transport sector and logistics. It also reviewed a number of recommendations from the concerned committees and took proper measures towards them. The Council further focused on some planning projects in the wilayas of Shinas and Liwa. Oman oil price today reached $58.17 per barrel. According to Dubai Mercantile Exchange, Oman oil price declined by $3.74. The average price of Oman oil February 2020 delivery reached $65.49 per barrel, thus $2.68 higher than the price of January 2020 delivery. The Duqm Special Economic Zone Authority affirmed that the biggest part of the general facilities and infrastructure services in the zone have been achieved or about to finish. These include the facilities of the ports, such as the commercial dockyards and oil derivatives docks, control gates, storage and cargo handling areas, administrative buildings and dry dock facilities, Duqm airport facilities, natural gas supply from Sih Nahida to Duqm, main roads network, electricity and water production plants, and distribution networks. It also completed the legislative and institutional organization. Several investment projects were nationalized, carried out either by the private sector alone or through a partnership with the public sector. Oman Chief Executive Officers Forum, organized by Oman Academy for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, concluded its three-day session at the Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. More details in the following report by Abdullah Al-Rubai.
Understanding the most relevant factor challenges and their solutions for effective strategy implementation is of interest to managers, strategy implementers, business people and practitioners. A huge number of chief executive officers who are aiming to gain further knowledge and skills to be effective in strategies implementation have successfully undergone a 3-day intensive work that included hours of presentations, keynote speeches and group work led by Tom Oliver Group, a global management.
Well, I am really happy today to see a lot of attendance from government sector and private sector, and there is a lot of CEO who attend this forum. And we are really glad and happy to work closely with Tom Oliver himself. During the 3 days, he gave us a lot of information which is really important and valid to move forward. The first day it was about the strategic planning and innovation and how to move from place to other. And the second day it was about how to move beyond the border and how also to implement the best practice to move, not looking only for your own market, but you have to see and overseas. And this is a really great. And the last day, it was about how to re-engineer your company. And this is also one of the areas which I thought is really important, especially for most of the CEO here in Oman, and how can you re-engineer your company to move forward and to implement the best technology, to implement the best practice, to implement the best idea in the world.
This forum has been very informative for us, especially Omani companies like us. Proudly speaking, we are 91% Omanis, and we have brought to this forum the board of the company. Our company name is As-Sahari. We are Super LCC. We brought in the executive management team. I am the CEO, and we brought in the future managers that we would like them to enlighten their thoughts and really increase the communication in the company. Tom Oliver is an icon in the world, and it has been a golden opportunity for us to really enlighten our thoughts, to align the business communication objective, mission and vision along with the world standard and full alignment with the board and the employees. It has been very informative for us.
Starting off, it's a great way in approaching the industry for me as myself, but in another form, it's how to recalculate if you're heading somewhere where you're not supposed to be heading, for a company, of course, but it builds a person of a clear mind. It keeps a clear vision of how to say this, but how to execute what your mission is in the company or owner of a company or an institute, basically.
To be aware of the biggest challenges to strategy implementation will indeed help avoid the most common pitfall and better set companies and organizations for success. Hence, such forum led by global experts are of great importance in improving the level of success.
200 top executives and CEOs here from Oman and from the region, and the response has been absolutely fantastic. Not just the news coverage, but also the response from the CEOs. They said it's exactly the kind of knowledge and know-how that they need to take their companies to the next level. And there are two areas to this. Number one, it's about how to thrive in times of crisis. And the other part is, how do you take your company from where it is today to a national, regional, or even international market leader? And we covered so many. We covered the secrets of innovation. We covered the secrets of the right organizational structure, the right strategy, how to overcome challenges, how to achieve goals, how to attract the top talent and the best people, how to achieve highest level of productivity within your company, how to use crises as opportunities, and really reach the full potential of your organization. So many different areas, and they had excellent questions, and they learned a lot of the principles that really make great companies what they are.
It's worth mentioning that organizations invest a lot of time and resources in the planning of strategy, as strategy is the main direction of an organization which is set at the top and has major importance for survival of an organization. Oman has made strides in strategic planning in various areas, the result of which has contributed to economic development of the country. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates with chances of high clouds. Winds will be north to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency the British Defense Secretary stresses on the keenness of his country to continue the military cooperation with the Sultanate to serve the interests of both countries. And a World Health Organization WHO panel meets in Geneva to discuss the latest developments on the Wuhan coronavirus, which has killed 170 people. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.